Hello, tax lien investors. This is Joanne Musa, the Tax Lien Lady, and this is Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live, where you get me to answer your questions about tax liens and tax deeds on Facebook Live. Okay. And my assistant will be joining us shortly, my assistant Nicole, who will help us out here. But in the meantime, as you come on, just say hello and let me know where you're coming in from, so that I can best help you. Because as you know, tax lien sales and tax deed sales, but particularly tax lien sales, are different in every state. As a matter of fact, in some states, they can be different in every county. Or as in New York State, they could be different in the different cities. So let me know where you're coming in from, and go ahead and ask me your questions. Today, I am in front of my whiteboard, so that if you have questions that require me to actually show you the answer on my whiteboard, I can do that. As a matter of fact, I did get a question about a particular New Jersey lien at a New Jersey tax sale. And if that person shows up today, I want to actually show how that would work out, how the redemption for that tax lien would work out on the whiteboard. But I do need some details about that lien. So, if they don't show up, I don't know, maybe I'll show you a scenario in New Jersey to show you how things work in New Jersey, because it is a very complicated state. All right, so where is everybody coming in from today? And also, if you're new to this, if this is your first time here, there is something that you have to do on Facebook or StreamYard to give Facebook the permission to use your name on StreamYard, or vice versa, so that I can see who you are when you leave a comment, because I'm doing this on StreamYard, and it's showing up to you on Facebook, and I can see your comments here on StreamYard. But unless you set that up with StreamYard and Facebook for me to be able to see your name on StreamYard, it'll just show up as anonymous. And Nicole, when she gets here, she could put in what you have to do. I'm not sure exactly what it is, and if you have to do it on StreamYard or Facebook. But we don't have to do that here. That was only on the group. Awesome. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you for that. All right, so Nicole, let me know if you've gotten any questions ahead of time. And everybody else that's on now, just say hello, let me know where you're from, so that I know who I'm talking to today. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for you to ask me your questions, I am going to go over a little bit about the particulars of New Jersey, and I'm going to do it right here. Somebody did ask me a question, and his question was, can you still get double-digit returns on tax liens in New Jersey? In particular, because he went to a tax sale and he saw a $15,000 lien get sold for, or at, $135,000 premium. So the lien was for $15,000, and an investor, a hedge fund, paid $135,000 premium to get the lien. Now, let me explain something that happens in New Jersey. And I don't know if this is, let me make this a little bit heavier so you guys can actually see these numbers. Can you guys see these numbers? Let me know. That's 15 and that's 135. Maybe I made it worse there. Okay, so why would they do that? Because in New Jersey, they do pay premium, but they also bid down the interest rate. So they first bid down the interest rate to zero, that's 0%, and then they bid up the premium. to $135,000. So in order to get this lien, not only did they pay the $15,000, but they also paid another $135,000. So in order to get this lien, they had to pay $150,000. Okay. So what kind of return are they getting? And can you still get double-digit returns in New Jersey? Well, my answer to him is yes, you can get double-digit returns and high single-digit returns, but you have to know what you're doing. Okay, now, but let's see what this actually is, because yes, they bid this down to 0, but there is a penalty in New Jersey. And the penalty is 2%, 4%, or 6%, depending on the amount of the lien. In this case, it's 6%. So they are going to make 6%. And actually, let me use a different color for this. Okay. So they are going to make 6% on that. All right. They're going to make nothing on this, right? But they will get to pay all the subsequent taxes and get 18 to 24% on the subs. And that's because, and I don't know, I need more information to really show this accurately. And the reason I need more information is I need to know what township or what municipality he bought this lien at. And the reason why I need to know that is because some municipalities have an extra 6% year-end penalty. And here's how that year-end penalty works. If you pay more than $10,000 in subsequent taxes by the end of that year, at the beginning of the following year, so let's say he went to this sale now, which is the beginning of the year, but this is last year's taxes. And let's say there's 15,000 taxes this year that he gets to pay, but he doesn't get to pay them all yet. Right now, he gets to pay the first quarter. So he'll get to pay 1/4 of this and get 18% on that. But over the course of the year, if the lien is held that long, he gets to pay another. I'm just guessing. The other thing I need to know to do this correctly is I need to know what the annual taxes are. I'm just guessing that this is the annual taxes, all right? So if he pays, but let's just say it is. So let's say he pays another $15,000 and he's going to get 18% on that. If there is a year-end penalty in this municipality starting January 1st of the next year, he gets another 6% applied to that. All right. So if we just figure it out, and let me get my phone here so that I can use, and this is a new phone, so bear with me here. All right. So if he gets 18%, and this is percent here, and this is only if it's held for a year. So let's say 18% of 15,000. That's 2,700. And 6% of that, 15,000, right? That's 900. And they're not getting anything on this. So after a year, I don't know if you guys can still see me here. After a year, they're going to make that on this amount. So what are they actually making if it's only held a year and there is no 6% year-end penalty? Well, they're only making about 1.7%, so they're not making a lot. But now you could see if there is a 6% year-end penalty. This is going to be 24%, which would bring this up a little more. But the institutions don't care, because what is their money making in the bank? All right. So, I mean, they bid a lot for that. And if it's held another year, they're going to make more, because if it's held another year, they're going to make another 18 or 24% on this, plus they'll be able to put another 15,000 and make another 18 or 24. So the longer it's held, the more they're going to make. All right. So in that case, no, they didn't make a high single digit or double digit returns. But if you bid on the right liens and go to the right sales, you can. You just have to do a lot of work. Now, my favorite tax sales are not New Jersey tax sales. Yes, that's where I started. I do like them. But I don't bid on anything this big, because there's a big fight over that among all the hedge funds. So I don't go after what the big boys want. I go after the little liens and go to tax sales where there's not too much competition, not as much competition. That's my strategy in New Jersey. But what I really prefer are a different kind of tax sales. Tax sales where premium is bid, but the interest rate is not bid down. See, in New Jersey, the interest rate is bid down on the certificate amount first, and then premium is bid. What I prefer are sales where premium is bid and you get interest on your premium, right? Those are the tax sales I prefer. Going on right now are the Indiana commissioner sales. And that's why I like the Indiana commissioner sales. Do you get, 18%? No, but you get 10% on everything that you bid. Okay. I like redeemable deeds, like in South Carolina. Do you get 18%? No, but you get 12% per annum on everything that you bid. And actually, it's done 3%. It's kind of like a penalty, 3% every 3 months. And another tax sale that's coming up soon is Maryland. As a matter of fact, the next Done With You training that I'll be doing is for Maryland. And in Maryland, you bid premium, but you don't even have to pay all the premium until the lien doesn't redeem. And the other thing I like both about the Indiana commissioner sales and Maryland is that shorter redemption times. The commissioner sale, it's only 4 months. In Maryland, it's 6 months. And right now, we just finished a Done With You training for Indiana. It is still available if you want it. And Nicole, you could put the link in there. Yeah, just go to taxlienlady.com/Indiana. You can find out about that training. There are still a couple of these sales that you could still register and bid at. And all the training is there, and we have one more live call tomorrow night. So if you get into this training, you could get in on that live call and ask me any questions you have about it. All right, that training is still available. And then the next training I'll be doing will be on the Maryland tax sales. I don't even have information on that yet. That will be coming next week. People who do the Indiana training, by the way, will get a break on the next Done With You training that I do. All right, let's see. We've got some questions coming in now. Hello, Gabby. Hello, Tim. Tim is asking, is it possible to compete for a decent tax lien in Florida? And let's see how it works in Florida. Tim, you know that what happens in Florida is that everything gets bid down to 0.25%. So if you want a lien on a decent house in Florida, you got to bid down to 0.2%, a quarter of a percent. Is it worth it to bid down that far? Well, here's the thing. You don't get 0.25%. If it redeems, remember there's a 2-year redemption. So if it redeems within those 2 years, you get 5% on your money. Is it worth it for 5%? Well, isn't that more than you could make in the bank right now? 5%. Also, it's not just that. Once that 2-year period is over and it doesn't redeem, you can apply for it to go into a tax deed sale. It's called a tax deed application. When you do the tax deed application, you have to pay a little more money to get the application done, and you have to pay any outstanding liens and any subsequent taxes, but everything rolls up at 18%. Now you're earning 18% on your money. So yes, it's worth it to bid it down to 0.25%. And if you're bidding on pretty houses, you're going to have to bid that low, and you're going to have to bid on a lot of properties in order to get one, because there are hedge funds out there that have multiple bids at 0.25% for those properties. If you're looking for vacant land, you can get an even better deal. Okay. So tell me, Tim, did that answer your question? And hi, Fi, I think that's how you pronounce your name. And I don't know what your question is, so let me see if I can open that up. Real auction under client services. I don't know what your question is. Hi, Gabby. Gabby says, I also would like to know a little bit about what is offered in your monthly membership. All right, Gabby, I will get to that. I will get to that before we're done. And now we've got a bunch of stuff coming in, so I'm trying to get to these questions. Okay. Gabby wants more information on Georgia. What exactly did you want information? What information did you want on Georgia? It's a redeemable deed state. It's a 20% penalty, and the redemption period is 1 year. And yes, Hafai is right. All the auctions are live in Georgia. And let's see. No, those are not on real auction. Georgia is not on real auction. Okay. Tim is a vacant land investor. All right. So then if you're competing in the Florida tax lien sales, you can get better than 0.25%. And here's what you do, Tim. Here's what I show my clients how to do, my coaching clients. The first thing I do with them is find a good place for them to start investing, depending on their personal situation. Then what we do is find out what tax sales are coming up, and to figure out, there's other things that we do to figure out the best place for them to start. But one of the things that we do that I teach them how to do is get the results of past tax sales. And that's how we know, once we narrow down where we want to go, what counties we want to go to, we're going to get the results of past tax sales, and then we know whether it's worth it or not. So you're going to get the results of past tax sales and see just how low you need to bid to get those vacant land properties, and see if it's worth it for you. Okay. Oh, Harry. Okay. Now I got your name. When you get on, when you have a different name on Facebook, it makes it hard for me to know your name, guys. Okay, just saying. Yeah, and Gabby, the list for Georgia is not on. Georgia sales are not on real auction; they're live. And here's where I get the lists. I use something called Tax Sale Finders. I use Tax Sale Finders, and this is one of the things that is, you had asked, Gabby, about what is included in my membership. one of the things that's included is tax sale finders. And what you could do with tax sale finders is you could find out what tax sales are coming up across the country, and you can even do a custom search to find out what online tax lien sales are coming up, or what live deed sales are coming up, or what sales are coming up in Georgia. Okay, you could do that all on tax sale finders. The other thing that you could do on tax sale finders is get the property list. But what I do is I don't actually download the list from there, because you have to pay for the list. I mean, you could download the as received list from the county, but I like to get all the information that I need. So, but what you could do in tax sale finders is actually look at the properties. You look at a map that has all the properties, and you could filter the list. So you only look at the ones that you want to look at. And then from there, you can actually get property reports. And my members in the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator, they get 50 property reports a month. All right. And there's other things they get too in tax sale finders. Plus, they get a training with me once a month. We have one tomorrow. And guess what? Tomorrow, everybody can come, because tomorrow I am doing a Tracking Your Liens training. I am updating the Tracking Your Liens course. So because I think this is so important for everybody, because if you don't track your liens, you can lose your investment in the property if you don't do that right. So I think this is so important that everybody should be there. So I'm opening this training up tomorrow to everybody. Members will get the recording. Usually these trainings, I do a group coaching call every month for members. And usually they're the only ones that get to come to these trainings. But because I think this is so important, I'm inviting everybody. But only members will get the recording of the training. Okay, let's see what other questions we got. Oh, and Nicole, you can put the link in there for people can register for the Tracking Your Liens training tomorrow. It will be at 2 p.m. It will be from 2 to 3:30 tomorrow afternoon, Eastern time, okay? And Nicole will put the link in for you to register. And there will be a replay, but only members will get the replay. Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions? Anything? Okay. And okay, so let me tell you a little bit more about the membership. I told you about the tax sale finders that goes into the membership, but we also have workshops that I've done a few workshops over the last 2 years, and they're all included in the membership. The tax, I'm trying to remember the name of all these workshops I did. Tax Lien Investing Blueprint, and that is a $497 course training that you have access to that. You get access to Tax Lien Investing Basics. That's a $297 training. The other workshops, the original Tracking Your Liens workshop is in there. Redeemable tax deed workshop. I have a workshop on that. By the way, Georgia is a redeemable tax deed state, so there is a redeemable tax deed workshop. There is a workshop on online tax deeds, and there is a workshop just for Michigan specifically, and a workshop just for Texas specifically, which is a redeemable deed state. And Nicole, there's a Buying Your Tax Liens 2020 update, Buying Your Tax Liens Online 2020 update. That's in there. What else am I forgetting, Nicole? Any other workshops that I forgot to mention that are all in the membership site? Plus, you get access to wealth building webinars. We just had a wealth building webinar last week with Sally Gimmon about the infinite banking concept. Excellent concept. And that is recorded, and it's in the wealth building webinars. We've had other wealth building webinars, we have an archive of recordings for wealth building webinars from the last couple of years that are in there, as well as an archive of trainings for like the last 10 years, 8 or 10 years. I don't know. I keep getting rid of the older ones because they're outdated. So, but I think we go back. Oh, you know what? We go back till about 2013, I think. So, not quite. So probably 8 years. 8 years of archives of trainings that we've done. Okay. So let's see what other questions we have. Do we have weekly meetings? We have monthly meetings. Actually, we have two. We have the wealth building webinar that is done at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time on the second Wednesday of the month. And then we have the group coaching call, which is this month, it's tomorrow. It's the third Wednesday of the month at 2 p.m. So we have two meetings. And what happens in the wealth building webinar is everybody's invited to come to that, but only members get the replays. The group coaching, only members get into that usually. Tomorrow's a little bit different. I've invited everybody for tomorrow, but that's the only once a year I do that. Usually only members get access to that. They get access to all those trainings that I just told you about, all the workshops. They get discounts on everything else. When I do a done with you training, like I'm doing for Maryland, like I'm just finishing up now for Indiana, you get into those at half price. And you get a deep discount on the coaching. I think you get 40% off my coaching if you were going to do laser coaching, one-to-one laser coaching with me. Okay. And yes, you have the opportunity to network with other members because we have a private Facebook group just for members. Now we have a private Facebook group that anybody can join, and that is the Investing for Success group. And everybody should be a member in that group. But we have another group just for members. So the Investing for Success group, anybody can join. You just have to answer some questions. The Tax Lien Profits group, Tax Lien Investing Profits, I think it's called. What's the name of that group? You have to be a member to join. You have to, and that we let you join once you're a member. Okay, and you can talk to other members in that Facebook group. You can ask me questions in that Facebook group, and we post things in there that we don't post anywhere else, that we post only for members. Okay. All right, so Nicole has just put the link for you for the Investing for Success group. That's the free private Facebook group we have. The one that's just for members, you find out when you become a member. You find out about that when you become a member. And Nicole has already put a link in there to register for tomorrow's training, tomorrow's workshop. And she's already put a link in there to find out more about the membership. And that's the one that's taxlienlady.com/Tax Lien Profits Accelerator. Okay, is that the one that gives them more information and lets them order? Nicole, the cost for membership is $149 a month. And that gives you access to all those trainings. It gives you access to tax sale finders. But if you want to save money, if you'd like to get a couple months free, who would like to get a couple months free? Anybody? Let me know. Put it in the chat. Because if you don't want to know, I don't need to tell you. But if you want me to tell you, I will. Yes. Okay, Gabby. If you sign up for a year, you get a couple months free. It's $14.90 for the year. So it's $149 a month but it's $14.90 for the year, so you get 2 months free if you do it for a year. Okay. Let me move so you can see that. Yeah, $149 a month or $14.90, and I'm not even sure you could see that because this doesn't. There's a. Let me do that. So what it is you wind up getting a couple of months for free. All right, plus you get, let me move on this side. Yeah, there you go. Now you can see it. And am I missing anything that they get in the members area, Nicole? You get wealth building webinars, you get the monthly group coaching calls, you get the Facebook group, you get all the workshops, big discounts on everything else that I do. And okay. And you could go to that page that Nicole dropped in there. Okay, she thinks I covered it all. And Nicole, drop that in again. As a matter of fact, drop 2 things in there again for everybody in case they missed it. One is, and for the one, just go to taxlienlady.com/membership. And that kind of gives you everything that's in most things, might not be everything, but it kind of has a checklist of everything that you get. And the big button on that page is for the yearly membership. And then underneath it is a link for the monthly. Okay, that I forget exactly what it says, but if you want the monthly, then you click on that link and you could do it monthly. And the other benefit to doing it for a year, other than saving 2 months, getting 2 months free, is that you also get the Buying Tax Liens Online course, which is a $497 course that is frequently updated. Now, if you do the monthly, we do have an update for 2020 that you get that workshop, but this gives you the entire course. Okay. And also, Nicole, put the link in there again to register for tomorrow. Register for that Tracking Your Liens training that we're doing, Tracking Your Liens workshop tomorrow. I have a new software program that I'm going to show that is available now for coaching clients. It's what I'm going to be using for myself and my coaching clients to track, but I will also show you how to track your liens with just a spreadsheet. Because let me tell you what happened not too long ago. Somebody contacted me and they had 2 New Jersey liens that they wanted to sell me. So I did my due diligence. This is secondary market liens. One of the things that I like to do is you could still, and this is another way to get pretty good returns on your liens without going to the sale. I do not like over-the-counter liens. Other experts talk about that and they say it's great. Well, show me your portfolio then if it's so great. Because anytime I've looked into over-the-counter liens, they're junk. And it's a lot of time that you spend doing your due diligence for, and I've not found it. I've looked here in Pennsylvania, I've looked in Arizona, I've looked at others and they're not worth it. And some states don't even have them. Some counties don't even have them. But what I do like are secondary liens. However, you have to do it carefully, just like when you're buying liens at the sale, you have to do your due diligence. So I did my due diligence on these 2 liens and saw that one lien was on a commercial trailer in a municipal lot. You know, it was like a commercial municipal building. It really didn't, it wasn't something that I wanted. The other one was a nice single family house in a nice area. So I said, yeah, I'm interested in this one. Send me a copy of the certificate. Well, he sent me a copy of the certificate and right away I knew that something was wrong. I could tell that it had not been recorded. Now, in some states, you don't have to record your liens. In New Jersey, most states where you actually get the certificate, it has to be recorded. In New Jersey, it has to be recorded, and you have a window of opportunity to do it. You've got 3 months to do it. And if you don't do it, you can lose your interest in the property. In this case, he did. It was worthless. It was a worthless piece of paper. Now, somebody else that didn't know that might have bought that lien. It was a $5,000 lien. $50 could have saved him $5,000. $50 is what it would have cost to record it. He said he didn't know it needed. He said somebody told him it didn't need to be recorded. But when I called the tax collector told me and actually sent me a copy of the document signed by him, by the person who bought the lien, that when he sends those recordings out, he actually sends a letter with it that requires them to sign it and send it back saying that they know the lien has to be recorded in 3 months. Okay, so why am I bringing this up? You know, what? Because if all he did was track his liens, he would know. One of the things that you have to do when you track your liens is, if it needs to be recorded, when was it recorded? What did you pay for it to be recorded? You've got to track that, because you're going to get that back when the lien redeems. And let's say the lien is redeeming, you want to make sure you're getting the right amount of money. In New Jersey, the tax collector will call you and verify that with you first. And you want to make sure they did not forget one of your subsequent tax payments, right? That you're getting the right amount of money when it redeems. In some states, they just send you the redemption. But all right, so let's see if there's any other questions. Hi, Kevin. Hi. Oh, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right. Osasris? Okay. And hi, Angie. All right, so let me get to your questions. Kevin says, with the secondary liens, do you get to foreclose as if you were the original owner after the required time? Yes, and the great thing about buying secondary liens is these were ready to foreclose. So if I bought it, I could just go ahead and foreclose, except that I couldn't on this one because it wasn't recorded. Normally, and I will tell you, normally that's not a problem, because you could just go ahead and record it. I would have had to record an assignment anyway in New Jersey. But the reason why it was a problem and that it was not enforceable is because in the meantime, another investor who bought a subsequent lien had foreclosed. So the property had changed hands and there's nothing he could do. And he would have been no, it wasn't a subsequent lien, it was a prior lien. So they wouldn't have even foreclosed him out. It was a prior lien. He bought his in 2018, and somebody who bought a lien on that property in 2013 foreclosed on it. He would have, had he recorded that lien, he would have still had a lien on that property. But because he didn't record it and it changed hands from the time he bought the lien till the time the foreclosure happened, it wasn't enforceable anymore. Okay. What is the, and Osasris is asking, what is the minimum I can get on a move-ready home with, what is the minimum I can get a move-ready home with cash? I got $12K that I've saved. All right. If you go to a deed sale, it's very unlikely that you're going to be able to buy a house with $12K in a deed sale. Very unlikely. However, if you go to Indiana, the commissioner sales in Indiana, you can very likely buy a lien for less than that. And you got to wait 4 months to foreclose. Will you get the property? In most cases, no. But there's certain things that you could look for in order to, up your chances of getting the property. Is it vacant? Is it an out-of-state homeowner? Is there a mortgage on it? If there's not a mortgage on it If it is vacant and if there's an out-of-state owner, your chances of getting the property are better. 2 years ago, I took a client to the Lake County, Indiana commissioner sale. They bought 3 liens. 2 of them redeemed and 1 of them did not, and they foreclosed on it. And now they did the fix up and it's being rented out. They did have to spend more than $12K, not on the lien, but on the fix up. So a move-in ready property, you're not likely to get, I will tell you right now, in either liens or deeds. Unless you target properties that are not vacant, target properties that are lived in, but then you have the problem of having to evict somebody if you do get the property. If you target properties that are lived in, do not have a mortgage on them, but if they didn't pay the taxes, guess what? They're still going to need a lot of work. So if you're looking for a move-in ready house, I got to tell you, this is not the right place to get it. You're looking at distressed properties when you get a deed. And most redeemable deeds and most tax liens are going to redeem. I don't always tell people what they want to hear, but I tell the truth. Okay. Will the tracking software work function offline? I occasionally travel without internet access. No, the one that I'm going to be using with my clients is actually an online thing that you have to log into. But you can do it on a spreadsheet, and that you could do offline. And I'll show you how to do that tomorrow. All right, is there a market out there for them, i.e. list of secondary liens for sale? Yes, there is, Kevin, but the problem is that you have to be careful when you buy secondary liens because hedge funds like to unload their junk. And they just don't make that available in the general market. What they do is they sell it to tax lien gurus who like to sell it to their people. And they're not really tax lien experts, because if they were tax lien experts, they wouldn't buy them. But they sell them to these real estate people who like to sell people. There's who like to sell people a whole bunch of different ways to make money with real estate, and one of them is tax liens. And so in my experience, those people buy a lot of those type of liens, and so a warning, I would stay away from that. And as part of what I do for my members is I do some trainings on secondary liens and how to buy them. And coaching, I even coach people on secondary liens. Do that as part of my coaching. What's the best way to find people buying secondary liens? I have people come to me all the time. The other place to find people selling secondary liens would be in the Facebook group for members, because they know what they're doing. So when they're selling something, they might post it on there. I have people come to me all the time with liens they want to sell, but a lot of times I have them send me the information and I look at them and I don't even make them available, because quite frankly, they're not worth what they're asking. I like to buy liens from somebody who's selling them at a discount, because I want both the buyer and the seller to make money. A lot of people, when they sell their liens, they want redemption value. Not only do they want redemption value, but if you buy it from a tax lien broker who does this, they're going to add money on top of it. Okay. So now you're paying more money, and if the lien redeems tomorrow, you're out money. You actually lose money that way. So that's why I don't like to pay redemption value. I like to buy liens at a discount. So once in a while, I have people that come to me and when I do get decent liens like that, I make them available to my members and my coaching clients. Okay, any other questions? You guys have some great questions today. I love this. I love answering questions about tax liens. It's 2:45. I do have a 3 o'clock coaching appointment. So I don't have a whole lot more time to spend with you guys, but if you have, I will answer a couple more questions if anybody has another question about anything. Got another question about secondary liens? Oh, the state that I think is the most worth it for secondary liens, where both the buyer and the seller can make money, is Illinois. All right. And I have gotten secondary liens in Florida for people. I do have a source there, and I've got people in Florida that can actually look at the properties. So there are certain counties in Florida that I have access to secondary liens there. But again, I do this for coaching clients and members. Okay. All right, Gabby, I'd love to have you as a member. And if you go today and sign up today, you could get into tomorrow's call live. Actually, you could get into tomorrow's call live anyway, because that's open to everybody. But if you get in today, you'll also get the recording. Okay. Any info on areas worth looking at with upcoming lien sales? Right now, there's still some commissioner sales coming up in Indiana. And then the next thing is Maryland. Those sales are opening up now. And Nicole just put the link in again for membership. And Nicole, put in one more time the link to register for tomorrow's training, for tomorrow's workshop, for anybody that wants to come into the workshop. And then I think that's it. Hi, Enrique. Glad you like the information. All right, so thank you guys. Thank you guys very much for showing up and asking your questions. This would not be fun without you. Because without you guys here asking me questions, I'd have to come up with something to do each time, right? But I don't have to, because you guys give me what to talk about. So that's great. All right, so Nicole just put the link in for tomorrow's workshop. And if you guys have any other questions, you could post them here or send them to info@taxlienlady.com. Oh, and Philip is asking what time tomorrow is 2 o'clock. And it should tell you that too when you go to the registration page. It's 2 to 3:30 tomorrow. All right, Kevin, see you next time. You're welcome. And okay, everybody, I hope to see you all tomorrow. If not, I'll see you next time. It is the first and third Thursday of the month that we do this. Not Thursday, I'm sorry. What's today? Tuesday. The first and third Tuesday of the month, we do this Facebook Live, Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live. So see you there. Bye, guys.